In depressing homework news.
Homework.
Fuck homework.
There's not one time that I looked forward to doing homework, but I have nephews and nieces and some of them love doing homework and I just look at them like,
They're gonna get bullied.
Sometimes I had coloring homework. That was cool. Sometimes I had homework I had to color.
What
that
grade?
was cool. Like 12.
I still didn't like that. Because I was like, don't tell me what to art.
Yeah, true. On some super nerdy shit, I loved geometry in high school.
What? Why?
Fucking proofs?
Yeah, I loved solving proofs and the diaphragm.
What are proofs?
Proofs are, AB is congruent to BC because...
What's congruent?
It's all logic shit.
Yeah, it's all logic shit. So I liked figuring them out. So when I got geometry homework, I used to be like, all right, cool. Let's do this.
You know, every time I hear geometry, it reminds me of Waka Flocka.
Why?
Because he got that interview on BET. They're like, yeah, he was like, I want to be good in school. He's like, what would you be doing if you weren't a rapper? He was like, probably majoring in like something like geometry.
Geometry.
Submitted by Hollow from Colorado.
He said major geometry.
Yeah, you should look it up. It's hilarious.
A school was forced to apologize after having students write suicide notes for homework.
What? Yo, I wouldn't want to do that. I love myself enough.
That's so dumb because I feel like you could have done that but not made it a suicide note. It could have been like your will, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have to be a hey, if I killed myself today. It could be like when I go.
I wonder if they had to write it in essay format.
Like 5-body paragraph?
Maybe it's like, I'm gonna kill all you motherfuckers that say you did it to yourselves. Oh my. And make you write a note.
Oh my god.
Suicide notes are interesting because I never hear about the suicide note that's very angry. It's always like, don't worry about me. I'm in a better place. This was my choice.
Oh, maybe it was inspired by that Netflix show. Fucking
13 suicides. Yeah.
If I wrote a suicide note, it would just be like Tupac hit him up. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck this team. Fuck double. Fuck this motherfucker. Plus this fuck face and this.
First off, fuck your clique
and the
bitch
click,
and the clique you claim.
fuck David. Fuck Joe.
I would do that too.
Alright, cool. Yeah. Fuck David. Fuck me. That's the reason this whole thing is going down.
That's an honest one.
Yeah, so this school in London has come under fire.
From London.
Yeah, from having 60 of their students create suicide notes. And the reason why they had to do this is because they were studying Shakespeare's Macbeth. And so, you know how Lady Macbeth dies by self and violent hands. And so they had the students put themselves in Lady Macbeth's state of mind when she was writing her suicide letter, and so that was the project.
I don't remember none of that Shakespeare shit.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but I'm not against this. This is
That homework seems like it makes sense.
Actually, I was thinking
It
the same
actually
thing.
makes sense now.
I was like, after you were explaining it,
Because
I
you're
was
trying to think like the
so-
character.
Yeah.
I get it.
This is writing class.
I'm not sure which
English or literature.
English class. Yeah.
That's cool.
Literally like that.
Did they have to write it in Shakespearean language though? Like, forsooth, thou art have to kill thyself.
I'm not sure, but that's a good question.
Is there a ShakespeareanTranslator.com? Do you just
I
write
think
normal
so.
English?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've heard of that.
I feel like you don't need it though.
For real? I don't know those words. Forsooth?
I don't think that's a real one.
I think it is.
There's a sooth in there somewhere.
There's some soup.
In the morrow.
Where you can sail the seven seas.
Is that the same shit as the King James English?
Shakespearean language is fucking crazy.
Yeah, Shakespeare actually, I read that he made up a few words too.
Yeah, that shit.
Probably
Creative
soup.
words.
He was trying to say four suits, but he had a fucking lisp and shit. I got four tooth.
But yeah,
fourth.
Yeah, so one of the students told her mom about this assignment, and so the mom got really upset, and she wrote a letter to the school complaining about it.
Has to be in Shakespearean language though.
She wrote a suicide letter.
Yeah.
No, because that daughter,
As the principal.
she had 3 friends that had already committed suicide. So for her, it was
3 friends?
I know. I was like,
That means she's the worst friend on the planet.
I know, she couldn't stop any of them.
I was thinking,
How come everyone's dying around her?
I know.
I don't know. I was fucked up.
Did they all
Yo, I
go
feel bad though.
together
Young
like
lady,
a
if you're watching
suicide
this
pact?
though, it's not like that.
Did they go together as a suicide pact, or was it 3 random cases?
I don't know.
Cause that would, if I was that friend, right? Like I got a friend with me and my four people. That's our clique. But one person killed himself, and like, is this me? Like, I would think it's me, because everybody's just dying around me like flies.
Like, what's the common denominator?
Yeah, something ain't right over there.
That's a lot of people.
It's not your fault, young lady.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
But I can see why it hits close to home, and they're like, I'm not down with this homework.
Yeah, exactly. So then the school ended up saying that they spoke to the teachers because there were 2 other classes that gave that same assignment. And so the school was just apologizing, saying like, you know, we're sorry that these teachers decided to create this assignment. We'll make sure that in the future this will never happen again.
Aww.
I still don't see anything wrong with the assignments. It's unfortunate that particular.
Maybe it's because if there are kids who are already suicidal, that doesn't really help that situation. And people
It doesn't, but I think it's cool because then the teachers can read it and see if something's really true.
They can't. Who are they to interpret that though?
And I feel like, what teacher? Why wouldn't you be like, hey, has anyone dealt with anything similar in the situation that would make you uncomfortable with it? Like, I feel like
maybe they did a little, you know, let them know.
Yeah, like, wouldn't they do that?
I don't think so, because you would have to do that with anything. Like, if you were to say, like, oh, right from the perspective of a kid from a single parent home, and then you have all these kids like, my dad left when I was this, it's like, whatever. But I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I feel like the teachers knew, because if it's 3 of her friends, more than likely they went to the same school.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Like,
I'm like, if these
They
girls,
knew that.
Yeah.
I don't think there was carelessness.
Yeah, I feel like instead of complaining, this student could have just talked to the teacher, and maybe the teacher just reassigns her to write from the perspective of one of the other Macbeth characters.
I don't know if you guys were depressed in high school, and like, because you know when you're in high school you have a lot of hormones and you're always really like, you have roller coaster of emotions. If you guys were depressed and then you got this assignment, you guys think it wouldn't like fuck with you even more?
It depends on how stupid I was. So if I just, like, you know, like when you're a kid, you also hear what you want to hear. So if I hear suicide homework, and then I was hella stupid, then I'll be like, what the fuck? You want me to write my own suicide letter? But if the teacher explained, you're writing in the perspective of a character in this play, I want you guys to understand Lady Macbeth's mindset and what was going through on in her mind. This is a character study. And if I was smart enough to understand that, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. I get where you're trying to come.
Man, me in high school, I would have like thought this assignment was dope. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I was in creative writing classes and shit like that. So I was like, if the teacher would have been like, hey, write from the perspective of Macbeth, or you know, just pretend. What if you were gonna decide to end your life this week? What would you say to everyone around you? I would love to that. That sounds dope. Like that sounds so not fun, but an interesting way to explore thoughts that you've never explored before.
It's like playing pretend.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference between you and regular. You're obviously not a regular person though.
I mean, true.
I think like there's a certain type of person that takes that and turns into a positive. But I think this is geared towards students who aren't like that, who are already on the suicidal edge, and that could be that one thing that.
Like they got a knife in their backpack?
Probably. You don't really know.
But I feel like we live in a time now where everybody thinks.
Got a knife in their backpack.
Definitely. But everybody thinks what they're feeling is it. Like, I remember when I was a kid, my mom told me not to say the Pledge of Allegiance. So I went to the
you were
teacher.
that kid.
Yeah, I went to the teacher and told them that, and there was a couple of others, and when they stood for the Pledge of Allegiance, we did it. Or we stood and we didn't say it. That was it. It wasn't a whole.
Your mama not patriotic?
What was the reason?
Long story, but I don't think it needs to be you shouldn't have these kids saying the Pledge of Allegiance this because of what you believe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could very easily just say,
Can my daughter be excused from this because
That
of
would
her
be a better-
special circumstance?
that would be a better
Versus,
circumstance.
this is an outrage. It should be standardized that this never happens for everyone.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch, I was enjoying my creative writing class until you came along and fucked it up for me.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everything has to be an outrage. You know what I'm saying?
Everything's an outrage. Where it's standardized and everyone can't do it now.
Because I think there's also like a certain amount of fear that people have. I have an English teacher that I still keep in contact with today in high school, and he was telling me how sensitive parents are and how sensitive kids are.
Everyone's a little bitch these days.
So he's
huh?
an English teacher, right? And there's a portion when you're in AP English that you have to learn how to do public speaking. So you write something and you present it to the class. This kid had a mental breakdown. The parent freaked out on him, saying, "How dare you make my kid stand up?" It's like, what the fuck? And there was another thing too. Well, it cracked me up. But basically, I remember this kid came in and he turned in his paper so he could be a part of AP English, right? He has some terrible ass fucking handwriting. And then, this guy came up to the kid. He goes, "Hey, maybe you should invest into a typewriter." Like he made a joke like that. I cracked the fuck up. But that kid looked pissed. I was like, "Yo, chill, bro. It's a fucking fucking joke. But you know, kids are
And
sensitive.
typewriters, come on, who uses a fucking typewriter?
It's obviously a joke.
Yeah, it's clearly a joke, you know. But you know,
Maybe you
kids
should
are
learn how to scribe on a fucking stone pumice.
And like teachers are supposed to go hard on you. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to like piss you off sometimes. They're supposed to push you. You know?
That's how you develop like personal relationship with teachers too. They could clown on you a little bit. You joke around.
So
Yeah.
you learn shit and better yourself. You want to keep having fucked up handwriting for the rest of your life?
And be a doctor.
And it was crazy fucked up too.
Dude, on purpose.
I think doctors are taggers actually.
I don't know what's going on now, but I feel like the parents of our generation was like, oh, you're not enjoying this, deal with it. Or like we were told to just like, it's not about what you want, it's what you have to do. Just fucking do it. Maybe by having parents like that, like our generation grows up having kids and we're like, oh, I don't want to parent like my parents.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna let my kids do whatever the fuck they want. Or I don't know, what's going on?
Either extreme, nobody finds that middle ground.
I don't get it, because it's like, to me, it's obvious that with struggle comes success. For a lot of people, it's like, I want my cake and eat it too. I don't want to struggle, but I want to learn in my comfort zone, but then I also don't want to challenge myself. So how the fuck are you going to progress in life?
You know what's gonna be crappy though? When you have kids and then your kids makes friends with those type of parents and then you gotta kick it with them and you gotta act like you fucking like them and shit. How's Timmy doing? Oh, Timmy's doing great. So guess what? Later on, we're gonna squeeze kombucha out of our toes. You wanna come with? Like, oh yeah, I love to you fucking bitch. What's up, you sexy fucking useless motherfucking bitches? If you want to follow us, you could check out all our fucking links in the description box below, you fucking bitches. Other than that, videos are up there.